Hey, how's it going? I remember you. You, come here often? Like this place? I know you come here often because you like to hear what I have to say. This is my third video. And as you know, we're getting a little closer to the draft. Countdown, I think, is now 18 days. If you forget, if you haven't cemented it into your brain yet, draft is August 9th. It's Friday night at 10 o'clock. So you should have no excuse that you're working or anything unless you work the night shift at the walking hospital facilities, which they will be treating players pretty much throughout the year. I think after looking at the Facebook thing that I put up, if you're going to be there or not, it looked like a good majority of people are going to be there. I think the only couple questionable people is pretty much Nick. I don't know if Nick's going to be able to be there. So Nick, let us know if you can. If not, we'll have to work something out of that you can still contact with us when we get your picks in. A couple other news and notes. In case you forgot, the new Keeper League rules that we'll be implementing starting this year. Out of the 10 original people, if you kept a player for the entire year or draft or traded for a player at a certain point and still kept them, I don't know. I mapped it all out. I left the rankings of possible players for each team that you can keep and for the round that you may keep them for. Remember, you can only keep 2 players, and if you want to keep 2 guys that are for the same round, say you want to keep 2 guys that are both going to be a first rounder, you can keep both. You just have to have 2 first round picks. So good luck with that. And then also, Connor and Jack, you guys don't get jack.
You get nothing. You lose.
You're the 2 new guys. You didn't draft. Unless you trade to get one of the... Actually, no. You don't even get keeper rights. I'm making that a rule right now. You can't even trade for a keeper because that'd be illegal in some way. I'd find a way that's illegal and make it not allowable. We get to keep 2 people, and this is how we're going to do the whole keeper thing, because I keep hearing a lot of who is going to keep who, and I don't want to start looking until I know who kept who and all that. And just shut the f*** up, okay? Just quit your bitching. This is what's going to happen. 24 hours before the draft night, basically at 10 o'clock, deadline is 10 o'clock on August 8th, you have to announce one of your keepers. And if you're keeping no people, you don't have to announce anybody. I mean, if you're only keeping one guy, you don't have to announce them 24 hours. But if you're keeping 2 guys, you have to at least announce one of them. You have to. You can't just announce both of them later. You have to announce at least one. And if you don't, then we're assuming you're either keeping one or you're keeping none. And then right before the draft, we'll put, when you come in, if you're going to keep only one guy or you're keeping the second guy, when you come into the draft, we're going to have you write the guy's name down on a piece of paper. You can put it in a hat. And then right before we start the draft, we're going to announce all the keepers. And then that way you have to kind of adjust. It kind of adds a little survivor element, a kind of strategic thing. It'll really test how everybody drafts, and I don't know, it just sounded cool. So that's the deal. That's how it's going to happen. Don't bitch and moan, because only losers bitch and moan, says the guy who has no ring. Otherwise, to kind of kill time until the draft starts, I figure I'd give you another kind of rankings type thing. I'm getting really anxious, really giddy for the draft to start, so everybody kind of gets those feelings. I gotta eat this quick because I don't want to get cold. So for the first ranking that I'm going to give you is my top 5 kind of breakout players, guys that I like, guys I think are going to do well, the guys who make me get all. Here's my top 5 notorious breakout players of the year, and I think it's 3 of these guys are rookies, and that's, I don't know, you could say that it's a coincidence or not. I don't know. They got a new team. It's kind of just interesting to think of how they're going to do. Now, the first guy on my list at number 5 is Derek or whatever the f*** you want to say his first name, Derek Rogers, a wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. He's a rookie. He was actually an undrafted rookie, but he went to the University of Tennessee before he got caught for something. I don't know. He got kicked off the team, basically. It was probably one of those drug possession or gun possession, or he got into a fight, or typical college stuff, that stuff we get into. So he got kicked off the Tennessee team, and beforehand, This guy was a beast. He was the next Calvin Johnson. Insert other good wideouts that came from college that are going to be top guys in the NFL. This guy was going to be good. Then he got kicked off the team and everybody wrote him off and said, oh, whatever. He's got all these player issues, whatever. And then he went to, I think it was like Tennessee Tech, and he tore it up. Of course, because he's playing against a bunch of flunkies from like D2 or D3 or whatever. Come to draft time, nobody picked him. But then Buffalo Bills signed him undrafted. And the words out of camp is this guy is just as a beast as he was at Tennessee. Just the only red flag or knock on this guy is that he's got player issues. Honestly, from what I've seen, I like this guy. He was a lot better than Cordell Cinderella Patterson and Justin Hunter. These guys wouldn't even had a shot to look good if Derek Rogers didn't leave. And he's 10 times better athlete, bigger, stronger, faster, taller, got better hands. Just the kid wants to have a few drinks with his buddies every now and then. Maybe get into a fight. Let the guy do it. I don't know. Very, very late in the draft. This guy might be worth a keeper. Again, it might be a little risky just because we don't know. But that's definitely a guy to keep an eye out for because that cat can ball. Number 4 on my list is another rookie wideout. So this guy did get drafted. Keenan Allen, wide receiver for the San Diego Chargers. Now, Keenan went to the University of California. He came in as a cornerback, but this guy was too big of a boss to not throw on wideout and just have him dominate the game. I know he's really tall. He's got good hands. I mean, he doesn't have that breakaway speed, especially that I like. But the guy, he's a big guy, big target. He's got moves. You know, he's a good wideout. The reason why he fell is like preseason rankings at college. He was the top guy. I think going into early in the draft in the combine, he was ranked like the top wideout. But then afterwards, I forget what happened. I don't know if he was injured. It might have been a whole nother. He got arrested or got in trouble for this, or he might have been one of the players that like trashed his hotel room at the combine. I don't know. For some reason, he dropped. So like the second or third round in the draft, and the Chargers picked him. I think it's a freaking steal, especially because the Chargers suck wide out. I think their top guy is Vincent Brown. A Vincent Brown is what I take a dump every day after I eat dinner. Now let's face it, the Chargers need something. That is a dying team. They have one of the worst running backs in the league in Ryan Matthews. Phillip Rivers, if he doesn't do something soon, he's just going to wither and die if he hasn't already. He's got no one to throw to, and Keenan Allen very easily can fill that void. So that's definitely a guy to look out for. Again, kind of like a Derek Rogers situation. Maybe a late round selection. Probably not. It's just a guy to keep an eye on. But definitely that cat can ball too. Number 3, you guys are going to love. At least 80% of you guys, because I know 80% of you guys are Packer fans. Eddie Lacy, the running back from Alabama. This guy's going to be good. Jonathan Franklin. I don't know what everybody's screaming because he's small, he's kind of fast. Packer fans have never had a good running back that's fast. I'm not even going to say that he's going to be good. He's just a small little fast guy. They've never had something like that. It's like a new toy. They don't know what to... They're just so excited to play with it. Jonathan Franklin ain't going to do Eddie Lacy is a guy to look out for. That guy is a tank. I actually think he's going to be a hell of a lot player than Trent Richardson's ever going to be in the NFL. Now, I know all you guys are saying, oh, Taylor, that means you're a Packer fan now. You're going to root for Eddie Lacy. You're such a Packer fan. Shut the up. Doesn't mean I'm a fan of the guy. It's just I can recognize that he's going to be a badass motherfucker in the NFL. He's a little roly-poly. He's got like MJD build, got a Steven Jackson mentality, and he gets injured like Darren McFadden. So, go yourself. But Eddie Lacy's in a great situation, so I mean, there's really no reason that he's not going to bust out and be a great back. So, number 2 is the running back for the New York Giants, David Wilson. This guy is fast. He reminds me of the little fast boy from The Incredibles, you know, zoom, zoom, zoom. I have not seen a guy this fast that I've gotten excited watching since Chris Johnson. I mean, this guy has got speed. He just hits the hole like it's nobody's business. Now finally, Ahmad Bradshaw's out of the way. He'll be getting a lot more of the carries. Hopefully somebody could like super glue the out of the ball and so it stays in his hands because he's got bad fumbling issues. But if he can take care of that, actually do some damage, David Wilson's going to be one hell of a running back. That's what I believe. And finally, the number one player on the top of my breakout list for the year. When you put up an NFL record of all-purpose yards in a playoff game against the Green Bay Packers, I am your biggest fan on earth. Colin Kaepernick absolutely panty-dropped the Green Bay Packer defense. He embarrassed the shit out of them. Or it's either he just is that damn good, or the Green Bay Packers put on a worse performance than Jamie Foxx in White House Down. Seriously, Jamie Foxx as the President of the United States? Who the f*** thought of that? So, I don't know what makes Colin Kaepernick a good quarterback, but when he goes on the field, he puts points on the board. He'll throw it on you, he'll run it on you, he'll just... Guy's got it. I don't know what it is, but he's got it. And he had a little... he wasn't born in Milwaukee, but I mean, he was raised there for a little bit, so I mean... I'm a fan already. But Colin Kaepernick is my number one breakout player. This guy just obliterated the Green Bay Packers. Just embarrassed the shit out of them. Man. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just... He made all 11 players on defense look like they were just standing there holding with their dick in their hand and couldn't do anything. He's about as fast as David Wilson. That's how good that guy is. And actually, I got one more ranking I wanted to do. I'm going to give you my top 5 quarterbacks that I absolutely hate for this year. Funny, because actually in my top 5, there's only one quarterback in my rankings. Because honestly, I'd rather have any other quarterback in the NFL, including Mark Sanchez, than this quarterback. Number one player on my don't touch quarterback ranking list is Jake Locker. Jake Locker is the worst quarterback I've ever seen play in the NFL in my life. I would rather have Tony Romo be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys than Jake Locker, which is a big deal because I would rather have Mark Sanchez starting quarterback than Tony Romo. I'd rather have any other guy be starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys than Tony Romo, except Jake Locker. I honestly believe the rumors of the Titans offensive coordinator considering punting on first and second down than letting Jake Locker go onto the field. It was absolutely embarrassing and really hard to have Chris Johnson on a team when you'd go out there and Jake Locker would want to pass on first down and throw it 40 yards down the field when there's not a receiver in God's green earth. I mean, the kid just doesn't get it. Jake Locker, you just don't get it. He's like a tight end playing quarterback. He's basically kind of like Tim Tebow, except Tim Tebow can do something out on the field with the ball. Jake Locker can't do anything. I don't even think he knows a play in his offensive playbook. And he thinks he can run with the football like Vince Young did with number 10 on his jersey. It's something about that number 10 in a Vikings uniform that is bad news. I would have something really evil to say, kind of comparing Jake Locker and Vince Young, but I know if I say it, I'm going to get a lot of flack because it's really, really bad. But I'm going to say it anyway. Jake Locker should do what Vince Young attempted to do, and actually maybe he can succeed in it. No, that was really mean, I know. But, I mean, that's how bad he is. In real life, I bet he's a great person, but in football, he is so bad. So anyway, those are my 2 rankings. Hope you liked them. Hope it helps you out. Hopefully it kind of helps ease the little emotions. Kind of drive myself nuts. Only 18 days away. It's not this coming weekend, but it's the weekend after. Just get ready because you thought last year's draft was crazy. This year's draft is going to be like maximized times 10 of the insane ridiculousness. I'm excited. I've already done 2 trades. If you've heard about them, great. If not, I'm not going to tell you. You can just hopefully hear it through the grapevine or hear it at the draft. So I'm already getting going. I'm probably not done trading. If you want to trade with me, just come talk to me. Otherwise, have a good one, guys, and stay classy.